Hello and welcome to this brief tour of a new data tool. It's Languages Spoken in Iowa. It's a great way to visualize some of the language diversity present here in Iowa. And the main way to get to this page is through the state portal, data.iowa.gov. And from here, we can click on to this open site button, which will take us to a cloud-hosted resource where the dashboard and some static documents may be found. This tool was created for a variety of reasons, and you can read that right here. The driving force was to get information out to very diverse populations here in Iowa in emergency situations and to work with stakeholders on identifying those populations, requiring translation or interpretation, and for obvious programmatic reasons too, for agencies to meet their federal funding obligations. And so for those and a host of others, this data resource is a compilation of census data and state administrative data from the Department of Education, which reports to the federal government English language learners in the pre-K through 12 system. So we have that available, and what we basically did was put it all in one place and make it digestible and literate for broad consumption. And here, in just the facts posters, you'll see that there are three different documents, and these can be easily printed into a PDF. And if you were to click the single page PDF option, you'd be printing off this map. And this map is a great way to look at the diversity. We know in Iowa that Spanish is the most commonly spoken language after English. What may surprise some is that Arabic, Swahili, and Karen languages are also significantly represented in the school system. And the color block here, the blue counties identify the highest diversity. You'll see that here, for instance, in Scott County, 41 different languages are represented in the school systems in that county. And we've also identified here the counties with the highest percentage and then actual raw number. We've sourced the data here in case you'd like to go track that down, or you can contact us directly and we can make the code available to you. This data product is also the first in a series of Just the Facts that will be rolling out throughout the course of the year. On the other side of that PDF, you'll also see a glossary of all the languages. There is a brief explanation for each one that is being represented here in the data set. The next map, which is a separate PDF, which can be printed off right here, shows foreign migration into Iowa. And you will see that we have cleanly put the number of people from a certain region. And if the region is not clear, you can come down here and read the countries that are described in this region. For instance, Oceania, 1,487 in Iowa, and in that regional description is the Federated States of Micronesia and the Marshall Islands. So we have that represented in this PDF. Next, we have the dashboard. The second part of this tool is the dashboard of languages spoken, where the user can query by school district and by certain county boundaries or political boundaries, and as well as languages spoken by household, by individuals age 5 years or older. So let's go to the first one, K through 12 English learners. And here we see the raw big number of 19,076 statewide of students in the Iowa K through 12 public school system who are English language learners that speak Spanish as their first language. And we can see by school district, if you scroll here, the school districts that have in the AEA also the totals. So you can continue to scroll down until you find a particular school district, or you can bring your mouse over if you know the whereabouts of it and find that information. So here you'll see, once you click on that, Des Moines Public Schools has 4,009 in their district. And here we have a slight, very short description of Spanish and those who speak Spanish and what countries they're from in Iowa. And here we have a trend line from 2000 to current enrollment year of 2022, and you can see how the numbers have grown throughout the years. And the data sources here are linked, so the public and any users can go right through here and click to find where this data was sourced. The second option in this dashboard for querying is by county and political boundaries. We'll wait for this to load up. In this query, the filters are here. You can do it by school year and also language. For this example, we'll use Arabic since that was the second high frequency language. Here you'll see the counties. You'll see the number of districts, school districts in each county, and the number of speakers of the particular language by county. So let's go over to the map where they'll have a pop-up box as you hover over the county. Here, let's go to Woodbury, and we'll see that there are 3 in that county for Arabic. If we go to a darker shaded county, let's go to Johnson, we'll see that we have 390 Arabic speaking students in that county. Scrolling down, we can also see the trend line over the years from 2008 and the growth of Arabic throughout the years. And as of the 2020 school enrollment year, we show 1,102 students who are English language learners that speak primarily Arabic. And again, we have sourced the data for folks to link to. And the third option here is languages spoken in the home. This data is exclusively driven by the American Community Survey collected by the census every 5 years. Here let's go to Spanish. We can toggle that and we can show 4 different selections for boundaries. We have county, Iowa House, Iowa Senate, and congressional district. For county, let's go to Polk. You'll see a pop-up box, and because we've toggled Spanish, the numbers will pop up as well. And the margin of error is explained by county, per county, and you'll see that fluctuate as we hover over different counties. And the margin of error is described here and what that means statistically for people using this data. And the graph down here shows the language data collected by the Census Bureau, and the ones that are collected that we see Iowa's numbers represented here if we toggle over the bar graph. And Spanish, we see that these are the numbers of people who speak Spanish beyond the K through 12 system. So this could include adults outside that education data.